Jennifer Lopez stepped onto the Jimmy Kimmel live stage like a force of nature, confidence woven into every curve of her posture, radiant in gold and glittering under the spotlight, her aura commanding attention even before a word was spoken. Yet beneath the glamour there hovered a tension so subtle that only those attuned to her rhythm might feel its undercurrent, as though a carefully choreographed routine was about to collide with raw emotion. And indeed, as Jimmy opened with his trademark banter, complimenting her latest film and marveling at her mom-of-three energy, something in the tone, playful yet probing, pressed against an unspoken boundary, nudging at a nerve she hadn't intended exposed, so when he leaned in with a mischievous grin and teased, "So, J.Lo, rumor has it your romantic life is busier than your Broadway schedule. Should we be calling you Mrs. Affleck or Mrs. Greenberg yet?" The laughter that swept through the audience struck her voice with a jolt, a reminder that the room saw her as headline fodder rather than the artist and businesswoman she had painstakingly built herself into over decades. Yet outwardly, she remained the consummate pro, tilting her head with grace, smiling politely, even as inside those raspy laughs edged dangerously close to the raw truth of countless conversations she'd endured. About her body, her dating history, her age, her backstory, and something kindled in her chest, a fee she had kept tucked beneath poised responses and marketing campaigns. But tonight, that heat demanded air. So she leaned forward in her seat, a slow exhale released as though she was shedding a layer of expectations, and said softly yet firmly, "Jimmy, I appreciate the jokes, but I've spent my life working to be more than a punchline, to build every part of myself with purpose, not for tabloid fodder or clickbait headlines." And the audience hushed, because this was not the usual polished patter. This was Jennifer Lopez, championing her right to be human and complex on her stage. Jimmy, taken aback, tried to recover. "Oh, come on, J.Lo, we're all friends here." But his words landed hollow against her rising conviction. So she answered, her voice steady and crystalline, "Backstage isn't always a locker room, and sometimes humor belittles rather than uplifts." And in that pivot, the dynamic shifted. This wasn't playful banter anymore, but a boundary drawn in live time. Audience murmurs rippled, production lights flickered, and the band, halting, their typical rhythm, froze in mid-jingle. Jimmy extended a hand, perhaps to laugh it off, perhaps to apologize mid-sentence, but Jennifer shook her head, slender hand dropping gracefully to her side, and said, "No, this isn't going to fly tonight." The calm in her tone belied the storm inside, and she unclipped the mic pinned to her dress, clipped it softly onto the table with a muted click, then rose, gold dress shimmering like protest, each step deliberate as she left the mic behind and walked off, the reverberation of her heels echoing down the stairs, past the sudden stillness of the crew, the bewildered glare of Jimmy, the tension in the cables and nerves behind cameras, her back to the applause that followed her exit, because applause after a walkout isn't celebration, it's shock repackaged, a momentary acknowledgement of disruption. And as she exited the studio into a corridor buzzing with frantic whispers, security and assistants tentatively followed. But she didn't speak, her face composed as stone. But inside every memory of the joke cataloged like a ledger of indignities. And she didn't stop until the door shut behind her, sealing off the stage lights and the jokes, the cameras and the audience, and standing with her back to that door, she inhaled, exhaled, and felt something inside settle, as though she had reclaimed a part of herself that had been negotiating. Consent in sound bites for years. The public, of course, erupted. Within minutes, clips surfaced everywhere. Social media timelines lit up with dash J.Lo walks off, / respect J.Lo, / boundaries, matter. Tabloids blinked with Jennifer Lopez's explosive exit. From Jimmy Kimmel show. And op-eds flew from Variety to The Wrap, some calling her emotional, others hailing her as a hero who dared dismantle the casual misogyny of late-night culture. And while the commentary roared, Jennifer didn't post a single comment that night. She didn't need to explain. Her walk-off spoke volumes. Next morning, she issued a succinct statement. "Your jokes are only as funny as your intent." Tonight, I reclaimed my narrative. No apologies, no qualifiers. Just clarity. Her own dialogue regained, her own dignity returned. Behind the scenes, late-night producers took hurried notes. Conversations sparked about tone and consent, and Jimmy posted a perfunctory apology buried beneath the night's other coverage. But something had changed irrevocably. Audiences cheered when they saw the clip, not just for the spectacle, but because they recognized that someone powerful had dared to reject ridicule masquerading as rapport. And months later, her exit would be taught in media courses as a watershed moment when a celebrity didn't just walk off stage. She walked out of a pattern that had demanded she laugh to make others comfortable. Jennifer Lopez didn't just end a TV segment that night. She started a conversation about respect, power, and voice. And in that, she became not just a star, but a standard.